Hello, guys. Welcome back to another election prediction. This time we're predicting the 2022 Senate races as of the month of December. So let's get right into this. So first off, we're going to set up the West Coast states. Those are obviously going to be safe. Same with Hawaii. We're going to go to the East Coast. Democrats are a pretty coastal party, and let's set up the safe seats for the Republicans. Alaska, I really don't see Alaska being that competitive. I mean, it's either, I'm willing to bet it's probably going to be Lisa Murkowski, that moderate Republican. I feel like she'll probably retain the Senate seat based on the polling I've seen. Yeah, these states are going up next. Missouri, I mean, it could go down likely, but I don't think the Democrats' nominee is that good to run here, considering he's kind of more on the left. I think his name is Lucas Kuntz. I don't think he is the best politician to run here. I mean, they could have tried going with a more moderate Democrat, maybe even running Claire McCaskill or even Jay Nixon, the former governor of Missouri. If Jay Nixon were to step in this race, he could easily make it competitive, even to the lean category. But for now, based on the current way the Democratic primary is going, we keep it solid Republican. So these next few states, Iowa, I mean, it's Chuck Grassley. You're not going to beat him. He's too popular of a politician. It could go down likely, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be solid. For the Democrats, Illinois, definitely going to be over 10 points. So I don't see it being that competitive. So these are the states that are going to be somewhat competitive. So let's just head right into the first few. Florida and Ohio, I mean, Florida is Marco Rubio, and by polling, he's just beating Val Demings by a very decent margin, around 8 to 7 points. I don't see it being that competitive. Ohio, on the other hand, this race could have the potential to go in a lean, but Tim Ryan's a pretty good candidate for Ohio, but Ohio is just so Republican relative to the nation that the Democrats need to have a blue wave to even make this seat competitive or even have a chance at flipping it. So I'm going to keep it as solid or likely for around a 7 point victory for the Republican nominee. Colorado, I mean, Michael Bennett's a pretty good senator here. I mean, he leads most Republicans by around 8 to 9 points, and I kind of expect him to win by that margin. But 2022 currently looks like it's going to be a Republican leaning year. Not a wave per se, but I'm going to say it's going to lean to Republicans by the popular vote. Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, I mean, originally I thought it was going to be dead in the water, but as of right now, with the Republican wave, like they have a generic ballot lead of around 4 points. And since Wisconsin more Republican relative to the nation, I kind of expect Ron Johnson to win by around 5 points. I mean, even Democrats' internal polling with Mandela Barnes as the nominee, it shows it as a tied race, 43 to 43. So internal polling always leans to one or the other parties. I mean, in this specific poll, it leaned to the Democrats. So it's safe to say that Ron Johnson's probably around leading by around 5 to 6 points as of right now, just based on how it's looking to shape out in 2022. Next state, New Hampshire. I mean, this state, the Republicans don't have any good nominees to really throw at Hassan here. It really looks like she's probably going to survive this, looking like a big gain for the Republicans here in the Senate, but it's looking like she'll probably survive the oncoming onslaught. North Carolina, I mean, Cherry Beasley as a Democratic candidate, she is very strong. She probably even flipped North Carolina if it was in 2018 like a Democratic wave year, but as of right now with the Republican momentum, I mean, she'll be lucky to keep it out of going to likely, but I'm going to say it's going to be lean Republican for now. Next state would be Arizona and Nevada. I'm going to rank them both here. I mean, Mark Kelly is a very good candidate. He could certainly get it on the tilt and even keep this seat, but since Republican momentum, they're even leading the popular vote here. I mean, these two states are more Republican relative to the nation. I mean, I kind of expect them to vote lean Republican, both of them. Laxalt in Nevada is a very strong candidate, and they have pretty good candidates in Nevada. Not so much in Arizona, but I don't think it'll really matter. I think these two states will at least be lean Republican. So, next it'd be Pennsylvania, and honestly, I mean, It would probably be tilt Republican, even with Fetterman as the nominee. I mean, we did have seen some turmoil with Sheen Parnell just dropping out of the race like that, the leading Republican here. But now apparently Dr. Oz is running, and I don't think he's the best candidate could run. Fetterman realistically has a chance, even in a red wave year, of winning this seat. But I'm going to rate it as tilt Republican for now. I mean, Fetterman can't even open up like a 5-point lead on Dr. Oz in a poll. He only had a 2-point lead in his own inside polling. That kind of means the Republican might be up, technically. Because inside polling always leans one way or the other for parties. So now we come down to the last state of Georgia, and I'm going to have a bit of controversial take here. I do think Raphael Warnock will survive. Here's why. Herschel Walker is the worst candidate you could run in Georgia. You couldn't find a worse candidate to run for Senate. Even David Perdue, I think, if they ran him, he could totally win Georgia back. But Herschel Walker, there's so much negative things you could say. He has a deteriorating mental condition. He aimed a gun at his wife's head and nearly killed her. I mean, you can't win a really competitive Senate race with someone who had multiple personality disorder in their history. I don't think Georgia voters are going to want to vote for that guy come November in 2022. He's just an awful candidate. Literally any other Republican could win this seat right now, but as of right now, I think Warnock will survive. And that's what the polling suggests too. Take a look at it. But yeah, this is my 2022 Senate prediction. Let me know what you think about this prediction in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.